Sleepy English Academy.
The crossroads of life. In the bustling city of Dhaka, amidst the cacophony of rickshaws and the shimmering lights of high-rise buildings, lived an introspective woman named Aisha. At 35, Aisha had reached a point in her life where every decision seemed to weigh heavily on her shoulders. She was married to Rehan, a kind-hearted man who worked as an architect. Together, they had 2 children, Nabila and Adnan, who filled their lives with both joy and chaos. Aisha worked as a journalist for a local newspaper. Her days were filled with writing stories that seldom sparked her interest, yet she clung to the job for the stability it provided. She often found herself longing for a more meaningful career, something that would align with her passion for social justice and advocacy. One evening, Aisha received a call that would set her on a path of self-discovery and challenge her in ways she never anticipated. It was from her old university friend, Farida, who worked for an international NGO. "Aisha, I have an opportunity for you." Farida's voice was filled with excitement. "Our organization needs a communications director, someone with your skills and heart for change. It's a big leap, but I think you'd be perfect for it." Aisha felt a mix of exhilaration and fear. The offer was tempting, but it came with its own set of challenges. It would mean leaving her secure job and the city she had always known. It would also require more travel, which meant less time with her family. That night, Aisha discussed the offer with Rehan. "It's a huge opportunity, but I'm worried about the risks. What if I fail? What if it affects us?" she said, her voice trembling. Rehan took her hand and said, "Life is about taking risks, Aisha. We'll find a way to make it work. I believe in you." Encouraged by Rehan's support, Aisha decided to meet with Farida to learn more about the role. The job was challenging and involved working in remote areas to document and raise awareness about human rights abuses. It was exactly the kind of work she had always dreamed of doing, but it would mean stepping out of her comfort zone and facing potential dangers. Aisha's decision brought her to the heart of conflict zones and communities in need. She met survivors of natural disasters, refugees fleeing persecution, and children deprived of education. Each story she encountered deepened her sense of purpose and commitment to her new role. However, the job was not without its sacrifices. There were nights when Aisha missed her children's school events and family dinners. She grappled with guilt and questioned her choices. Rehan tried to fill the gaps at home, but it was evident that they all felt the strain of Aisha's absence. During a particularly harrowing assignment in a flood-affected area, Aisha encountered a young girl named Rima, who had lost her entire family. The encounter shook Aisha to her core. She realized the profound impact of her work and the lives she was touching, but she also acknowledged the emotional toll it was taking on her. One evening, while sitting by the fire in a temporary shelter, Aisha confided in Farida. "I'm struggling, Farida. I feel like I'm torn between my duty to these people and my love for my family. How do you balance it?" Farida smiled sadly. "It's never easy, Aisha. But remember, you're setting an example for your children. You're teaching them about compassion, resilience, and the importance of standing up for what's right. That's a powerful lesson." Aisha returned to Dhaka with a renewed sense of purpose. She sat down with Rehan and the kids and shared her struggles and realizations. They listened, and together, they devised a plan to create more balance in their lives. Aisha committed to being more present when she was home, and Rehan and the kids agreed to support her during her absences. Years passed, and Aisha's work brought about tangible changes in the communities she served. Her relationship with Rehan and the kids grew stronger as they navigated the challenges together. Aisha found a way to integrate her passion for justice with her love for her family, proving that it's possible to pursue one's dreams without forsaking the ones who matter most. In the end, Aisha's journey was not just about her career or her family. It was about finding harmony between her personal and professional life. She learned that life is full of crossroads and that every choice, while fraught with challenges, is an opportunity for growth and transformation.
The weight of choices. In the heart of the vibrant city of Dhaka, a man named Rahim faced the everyday challenges of modern adulthood. At 42, Rahim had built a successful career as a software engineer, climbing the corporate ladder to become a project manager in a leading tech firm. He lived a comfortable life with his wife, Nazreen, and their teenage daughter, Anika. Despite his achievements, Rahim often felt a lingering sense of unfulfillment. His passion for technology had been replaced by the monotony of corporate politics and relentless deadlines. He longed to create something meaningful, something that would make a difference in the world. One day, an unexpected opportunity presented itself. Rahim received an email from an old friend, Tariq, who had started a nonprofit organization aimed at using technology to improve education in rural areas. Tariq needed someone with Rahim's expertise to lead a new initiative that would provide digital learning tools to underprivileged schools across Bangladesh. The offer was enticing, but it came with significant risks. Leaving his stable job for a nonprofit meant a drastic pay cut and the uncertainty of working in a challenging environment. Rahim felt torn between his current secure life and the chance to pursue a passion project that could bring about real change. That evening, Rahim shared his dilemma with Nazreen. "What do you think, Nazreen? Should I take the risk and join Tariq's organization? It feels like a calling, but I'm worried about the financial impact on us," he said, his voice filled with uncertainty. Nazreen pondered for a moment before responding. "Rahim, we've always managed to find a way through tough times. If this opportunity excites you and gives your life purpose, I think you should go for it. We'll adjust and make it work." Rahim decided to take the leap of faith. He resigned from his corporate job and joined Tariq's organization. The transition was not easy. The challenges of working in rural areas, where basic amenities were scarce, tested his resolve. But the impact of his work was palpable. Children who had never seen a computer before were now learning and exploring new worlds through digital education. As Rahim navigated his new role, he faced numerous ethical dilemmas. Balancing the need for technological advancement with the cultural sensitivity of the communities he served required careful consideration. He had to ensure that the introduction of digital tools did not inadvertently widen the gap between the educated and uneducated. One such challenge arose in a remote village where the local elders were skeptical of the new technology. They feared it would corrupt their traditional way of life. Rahim spent days building trust with the community, explaining how the technology would complement their existing educational practices rather than replace them. His efforts paid off, and soon the village embraced the digital tools, leading to improved literacy rates and increased opportunities for the children. However, the financial strain of his decision began to take its toll. Rahim and Nazreen had to make significant lifestyle adjustments. They downsized their home and cut back on non-essential expenses. Anika, who initially struggled with the changes, eventually understood the importance of her father's work and grew proud of his dedication. One evening, Rahim sat by the riverbank, reflecting on his journey. Tariq joined him, and they talked about the impact they were making. "Do you ever regret leaving your corporate job, Rahim?" Tariq asked. Rahim smiled, his eyes filled with determination. "There are moments of doubt, but seeing the difference we're making, the lives we're touching, it all feels worth it. This work has given my life a new meaning. Years passed and Rahim's initiative grew, reaching more schools and changing more lives. His story became an inspiration for many, showing that the pursuit of passion and purpose, though fraught with challenges, can lead to profound fulfillment. Rahim's journey was a testament to the power of choice and the courage to pursue one's dreams. He learned that while the path may be difficult, the rewards of following one's passion and making a difference in the world are immeasurable. In the end, Rahim's life was not defined by the comforts he had given up, but by the legacy he created. A legacy of education, empowerment, and hope for future generations.
The path less traveled. In a quaint neighborhood in Dhaka lived Arif, a man who appeared to have it all. At 50, he had a thriving business, a loving wife named Salma, and 2 grown children, Saif and Maya, who were successful in their own right. From the outside, Arif's life seemed perfect, but he carried a weight that few knew about. Arif had always been passionate about music. In his youth, he played the guitar and sang in a band. But as responsibilities mounted and the pressures of adulthood took over, he set aside his dreams to focus on providing for his family. His music faded into the background, becoming a distant memory of a life he once knew. One evening, while sifting through old belongings in the attic, Arif stumbled upon his dusty guitar. The sight of it stirred something deep within him, a longing to reconnect with his lost passion. As he strummed the familiar strings, memories came flooding back, filling him with a mix of joy and regret. Salma found him in the attic, playing a soft melody. "I haven't heard you play in years," she said, her voice tinged with nostalgia. "You were always so talented, Arif. Why did you stop?" Arif sighed. "Life happened, Salma. There were bills to pay, kids to raise, and a business to run. Music took a backseat." Salma placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's never too late to follow your passion. If music makes you happy, you should pursue it." With Salma's encouragement, Arif decided to reignite his love for music. He began practicing regularly, dedicating hours each week to honing his skills. He even started attending local music gatherings, where he met others who shared his passion. Arif's journey was not without its challenges. Balancing his business and rekindling his musical dreams required careful planning and time management. There were moments of self-doubt and fears of judgment from peers and society. But with each strum of his guitar, Arif felt more alive, more in tune with his true self. One day, Arif received an invitation to perform at a charity concert organized by a local community group. The event aimed to raise funds for underprivileged children in Dhaka. The thought of performing in front of an audience after so many years filled him with anxiety, but the cause resonated with him deeply. "Are you nervous, Dad?" Saif asked, noticing Arif's apprehension on the day of the concert. "A little," Arif admitted. "But I'm more excited than anything. This is something I need to do, for myself and for the children we're helping." As Arif took the stage that evening, he felt a rush of emotions. The lights, the applause, and the eager faces in the audience reminded him of his younger days. He took a deep breath and began to play, pouring his heart into each note. The audience was captivated, and for those few minutes, Arif was transported back to a time when music was his entire world. The concert was a success, and Arif's performance was met with overwhelming praise. It reignited his confidence and fueled his desire to keep pursuing his passion. He continued to perform at local events, using his music to bring joy and support to various causes. Arif's journey also had a profound impact on his family. His rekindled passion for music inspired Saif and Maya to pursue their own dreams without fear of societal expectations. Salma, too, found joy in seeing her husband rediscover a part of himself that had been long forgotten. Years later, as Arif looked back on his life, he realized that the path less traveled had brought him a sense of fulfillment he had never imagined. He had not only achieved success in his business, but had also reconnected with the essence of who he was, a musician at heart. Arif's story is a reminder that it's never too late to follow one's passion. Life may present obstacles, and responsibilities may demand sacrifices, but the pursuit of what truly makes us happy is always worth it. In the end, it's the choices we make and the risks we take that shape the legacy we leave behind.
The Silent Symphony. In the vibrant city of Dhaka, amid the rhythm of daily life, lived Alina, a woman in her late 40s who had a unique gift. She was a talented violinist. Alina's life revolved around music, but not in conventional sense. She taught music at a local school, nurturing young talents and dreaming of the day she could perform on a grand stage once again. Years ago, Alina had been a celebrated violinist, performing in prestigious concerts across the world. But a tragic accident had left her partially deaf, cutting short her rising career. Though she could no longer hear the music as she once did, her passion for it remained undiminished. She learned to adapt, relying on vibrations and muscle memory to continue playing and teaching. Alina's life was a blend of joy and sorrow. She found immense satisfaction in her students' progress, yet she couldn't shake off the longing to perform in front of a large audience again. One of her most promising students was a teenage boy named Arif, who had a natural talent for the violin. Alina saw in him the potential to achieve what she no longer could. One day, the head of the school's music department approached Alina with an exciting yet daunting proposal. The school was organizing a grand charity concert, and they wanted Alina to perform as the main act. The concert aimed to raise funds for a new music wing, and her performance would undoubtedly attract a large audience. The news filled Alina with both excitement and fear. She hadn't performed on a stage in years, and was anxious about whether she could live up to the expectations. But the thought of playing her beloved violin in front of an audience again was too tempting to resist. Alina decided to accept the offer. She practiced tirelessly, pushing herself to the limits. Her determination was unwavering. But the road to the concert was fraught with challenges. Her partial hearing loss meant she had to rely heavily on her other senses, making every practice session a test of her resilience and adaptability. As the concert date approached, Alina's anxiety grew. She confided in her husband, Rahim, about her fears. "What if I can't do it, Rahim? What if I disappoint everyone?" Rahim, a constant source of support, took her hands in his. "You are an amazing musician, Alina. Your passion and dedication will shine through. Remember, this is about sharing your gift, not about perfection." On the night of the concert, the auditorium was filled with eager faces. Alina's heart pounded as she stepped onto the stage. Her violin cradled in her arms. The spotlight shone on her, and for a moment, the world seemed to pause. As she drew the bow across the strings, the familiar vibrations resonated through her body. The music flowed, each note a testament to her perseverance and love for her art. The audience watched in awe, captivated by her performance. Midway through her piece, Alina closed her eyes, letting the music guide her. She felt a profound connection to the audience, as if every person in the room was part of a silent symphony. The applause at the end was deafening, and tears filled her eyes as she bowed to the audience. The concert was a resounding success, raising more than enough funds for the new music wing. Alina's performance was hailed as a triumph, a testament to the power of resilience and passion. In the weeks that followed, Alina found herself more inspired than ever. She continued to teach with renewed vigor, using her story to motivate her students. She realized that while she might have lost her hearing, her ability to touch hearts with her music remained intact. Alina's journey was a poignant reminder that our limitations do not define us. Her story was about overcoming adversity, embracing one's gifts, and finding joy in the pursuit of passion. In the end, she discovered that the true essence of music lies not just in hearing, but in feeling and sharing it with others.
The artist's canvas. In the crowded, ever-moving city of Dhaka lived Imran, a man in his late 30s with a gift for painting. His art was not just a hobby. It was his lifeline, a way to express the thoughts and emotions he couldn't put into words. By day, he worked as an accountant in a drab office, crunching numbers and balancing ledgers. By night, he transformed into an artist, creating vibrant canvases that depicted the beauty and chaos of his beloved city. Imran's wife, Layla, was his biggest supporter. She saw the brilliance in his work and encouraged him to pursue his passion. However, the realities of life made it difficult for Imran to commit fully to his art. Financial stability was a constant concern, and his job, though uninspiring, provided the security they needed. One day, Layla surprised Imran with an announcement. "There's an art exhibition happening in 3 months, and I've entered you into it," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Imran felt a mix of exhilaration and anxiety. "But Layla, I'm not a professional artist. What if my work isn't good enough?" Layla smiled reassuringly. "You have a gift, Imran. Your art speaks to people. This is your chance to share your talent with the world." With Layla's encouragement, Imran began preparing for the exhibition. He spent every free moment in his makeshift studio, pouring his heart and soul into his paintings. The process was both exhilarating and exhausting. He found himself grappling with self-doubt and the pressure to create something truly extraordinary. One evening, as Imran was working on a particularly challenging piece, his daughter, Aisha, walked into the studio. "What are you painting, Baba?" she asked, her curious eyes fixed on the canvas. Imran paused and smiled at her. "I'm painting a scene from my childhood, Aisha. It's a memory of the old neighborhood I grew up in." Aisha nodded thoughtfully. "It looks beautiful. Can I paint with you?" Imran handed her a small brush. "Of course, my little artist. Let's create something together." The weeks leading up to the exhibition were a whirlwind of activity. Imran balanced his demanding job with his artistic endeavors, often staying up late into the night to finish his pieces. The support of his family kept him going, and he found strength in their belief in his talent. On the day of the exhibition, Imran's heart raced as he walked into the gallery. His paintings were displayed alongside those of established artists, and the sight of his work in such a prestigious setting filled him with a mix of pride and nervousness. As the evening progressed, the gallery filled with art enthusiasts and collectors. Imran watched as people stopped to admire his paintings, discussing the emotions and stories captured on the canvases. He felt a sense of validation that he had long yearned for. A well-dressed man approached Imran, extending a hand. "Your work is extraordinary. I'm particularly drawn to this piece," he said, gesturing towards a painting of a bustling market scene. "I'd like to purchase it for my private collection." Imran's eyes widened in disbelief. "Thank you so much." "I'm honored," he replied, shaking the man's hand. By the end of the night, several of Imran's paintings had been sold, and he received offers for commissions and future exhibitions. The experience was a turning point in his life, proving that his art had the power to resonate with others. Imran's success at the exhibition inspired him to pursue his art more seriously. He continued to work as an accountant, but with a newfound sense of purpose and fulfillment. He realized that while his job provided financial stability, his art gave his life meaning and joy. Imran's journey was a testament to the power of following one's passion. He learned that it's possible to balance practical responsibilities with the pursuit of dreams. With the support of his loved ones, he discovered the courage to share his talent with the world and found fulfillment in the process. In the end, Imran's story was not just about painting. It was about embracing one's true self and finding the strength to follow the path less traveled. His art became a canvas for his life's journey, capturing the beauty and complexity of the human experience.
The Second Chance. In the lively streets of Dhaka, where the city never seemed to sleep, lived a man named Kareem. At 45, Kareem was a dedicated doctor, known for his tireless work at one of the city's busiest hospitals. His life had been a whirlwind of long hours, sleepless nights, and constant pressure. Yet, beneath the surface of his professional success, Kareem felt a growing sense of emptiness. Kareem's dedication to his work had come at a cost. His marriage to Amina, his college sweetheart, had slowly deteriorated over the years. The demands of his job left little time for his family, and he often missed important moments in his children, Sarah and Raheem's lives. The distance between him and Amina grew, and their once passionate love had turned into mere coexistence. One fateful day, Kareem received a call that would change his life. His younger brother, Jamal, had suffered a heart attack and was in critical condition. Rushing to the hospital where Jamal was admitted, Kareem found himself on the other side of the patient-doctor dynamic. The experience was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of family. Jamal's recovery was slow but steady, and during this time, Kareem spent more time at home. He began to see the strain his absence had put on his family. Sarah and Raheem were growing up fast, and he had missed so much. Amina, though supportive of his career, had grown distant and lonely. One evening, as they sat together in their quiet home, Amina spoke up. "Kareem, we need to talk. Our family needs you, not just as a provider, but as a husband and father. We can't go on like this." Kareem looked at her, his heart heavy with guilt. "I know, Amina. I see the damage my absence has caused. I've been so focused on saving others that I've neglected the ones who matter most to me." Determined to make amends, Kareem decided to make some changes in his life. He spoke to his superiors at the hospital and requested a reduction in his hours. Though it was a difficult decision, he knew he needed to prioritize his family. As Kareem spent more time at home, he reconnected with Sarah and Raheem. They went on family outings, played games, and shared stories. Slowly, the bond between them began to strengthen. Kareem also worked on his relationship with Amina. They started attending marriage counseling, where they learned to communicate and support each other better. One day, Kareem received an unexpected offer. A renowned medical research center in Dhaka was looking for a physician with his expertise to lead a new project. The role offered a better work-life balance and the chance to contribute to groundbreaking research. Kareem discussed the offer with Amina. "This could be a fresh start for us, Amina. It's a chance for me to work on something meaningful while being present for our family." Amina smiled, her eyes filled with hope. "If it means having you home more and being able to build our life together, then I support you, Kareem." With Amina's encouragement, Kareem accepted the offer. The new job brought its own challenges, but it also allowed him to be more involved in his family's life. He found a renewed sense of purpose, both at work and at home. Kareem's journey was not without its struggles. Balancing the demands of his new job with his family commitments required constant effort and dedication. But the changes he made brought about a profound transformation. His relationship with Amina blossomed, and they rediscovered the love they once had. Sarah and Raheem thrived with their father's presence and support. Years later, as Kareem looked back on his life, He realized that the second chance he had been given was a gift. He learned that success is not just measured by professional achievements, but by the love and happiness of those we hold dear. Kareem's story is a reminder that it's never too late to make changes for the better. Life's challenges can be opportunities for growth, and with determination and love, we can find our way back to what truly matters.
The echoes of the past. In the sprawling metropolis of Dhaka, where the past and present seamlessly intertwined, lived Hassan, a man in his late 40s, who harbored a deep connection to the city's rich history. Hassan worked as an archivist at the National Museum, meticulously preserving artifacts and stories from bygone eras. His life revolved around the past, and he often found solace in the dusty archives and ancient relics that filled the museum's halls. Despite his dedication to his work, Hassan's personal life was fraught with unresolved issues. His marriage to Zainab had grown distant, and their two children, Rina and Samir, were caught in the middle of their strained relationship. Hassan's obsession with the past had created a chasm between him and his family, and he often found himself lost in the memories of a time long gone. One day, while cataloging a new collection of artifacts, Hassan discovered a faded journal tucked away in a forgotten corner of the museum. The journal belonged to a British colonial officer who had lived in Dhaka during the early 1900s. Intrigued, Hassan began to read the entries, which detailed the officer's experiences and observations of life in Dhaka during that era. As Hassan delved deeper into the journal, he stumbled upon a series of entries that hinted at a hidden treasure buried somewhere in the city. The officer's writings were filled with cryptic clues and references to landmarks that had long since changed or disappeared. Hassan's curiosity was piqued, and he felt an inexplicable urge to uncover the truth behind the journal's mysterious contents. That evening, Hassan shared his discovery with Zainab and the children. "I found this old journal at the museum today. It mentions a hidden treasure somewhere in Dhaka. I think it could be a fascinating adventure for us to follow the clues and see where they lead," he said, his eyes gleaming with excitement. Zainab raised an eyebrow, a mix of skepticism and curiosity. "Hassan, you know we've been struggling as a family. Are you sure this is the right time for an adventure?" Hassan nodded earnestly. "I believe this could be an opportunity for us to reconnect and work together as a family. Let's give it a try." Reluctantly, Zainab agreed, and the next weekend, the family set out to follow the clues from the journal. Their journey took them to various historical sites around Dhaka, each clue revealing more about the city's past and bringing them closer together. As they explored the old neighborhoods, they learned about the rich tapestry of cultures and events that had shaped their city. One of the clues led them to an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of Dhaka. The mansion, once grand and opulent, now stood in ruins, its walls covered in ivy, and its rooms filled with the echoes of the past. As they carefully navigated the dilapidated building, they found a hidden compartment behind a crumbling wall. Inside, they discovered a small chest filled with old coins, trinkets, and documents. The treasure itself was not of great monetary value, but the journey had been invaluable. Through their shared adventure, Hassan, Zainab, Rina, and Samir had rekindled their bond and found a renewed sense of unity. They had discovered not just the hidden treasure, but the importance of cherishing the present and creating new memories together. Hassan's experience taught him a valuable lesson about balance. While the past held a special place in his heart, he realized the importance of living in the present and nurturing his relationships with his loved ones. He continued his work at the museum with a newfound appreciation for the stories and artifacts he preserved, but he also made a conscious effort to be more present for his family. Years later, as Hassan looked back on their adventure, he felt grateful for the unexpected journey that had brought them closer. The echoes of the past had led him to a deeper understanding of the present, and he found peace in knowing that he could honor history while still embracing the here and now.
The unlikely reunion. In the heart of Dhaka, a city where the old and new coexisted in a chaotic yet harmonious blend, lived Kamal, a man in his early 50s. Kamal was a successful restaurateur, known for his small but popular eatery that served the most delectable traditional Bangladeshi dishes. Despite his success, Kamal carried a heavy burden, a broken relationship with his childhood best friend, Rafiq. Kamal and Rafiq had grown up together, inseparable since they were 5 years old. They shared dreams, secrets, and a bond that felt unbreakable. But as they grew older, life took them on different paths. A disagreement over a business venture had led to a bitter fallout, and they hadn't spoken in over 20 years. One humid summer afternoon, as Kamal was going through his usual routine at the restaurant, he received a letter. It was from Rafiq's sister, Nusrat, informing him that Rafiq was seriously ill and had asked to see him. Kamal's heart sank. The years of silence and resentment seemed trivial in the face of his friend's illness. That evening, Kamal discussed the letter with his wife, Rahima. "I don't know if I can face him after all these years. What if he doesn't want to see me?" Kamal said, his voice laced with uncertainty. Rahima gently squeezed his hand. "Kamal, sometimes life gives us a chance to make amends. This could be that moment. Go and see him. You will regret it if you don't." With Rahima's encouragement, Kamal decided to visit Rafiq. The next morning, he made the journey to Rafiq's home, a small house in an old neighborhood they once knew so well. Memories of their childhood flooded back as Kamal walked through the familiar streets. Rafiq's house was modest, a stark contrast to Kamal's bustling life. As he approached the door, his heart raced. He knocked, and moments later, Nusrat opened the door, her eyes filled with a mix of surprise and relief. "Kamal, I didn't know if you would come." "Thank you," Nusrat said, guiding him inside. In the dimly lit room, Rafiq lay on a bed, looking frail and tired. When their eyes met, years of unspoken words seemed to hang in the air. Kamal took a deep breath and stepped closer. "Rafiq, it's been too long," Kamal began, his voice trembling. Rafiq managed a weak smile. "Too long indeed, old friend. I wasn't sure if you'd come." The two men talked for hours, reminiscing about their childhood and the dreams they once shared. They spoke about the rift that had separated them and realized how trivial their disputes seemed in hindsight. Through their conversation, they found a sense of closure and forgiveness. Over the next few weeks, Kamal visited Rafiq regularly. He brought home-cooked meals from his restaurant, and they spent time catching up on lost years. Kamal also rekindled his friendship with Nusrat, who had been a dear friend to both of them. One day, as they sat together in the small garden outside Rafiq's house, Rafiq turned to Kamal and said, "I want you to promise me something, Kamal. Don't let life's challenges and misunderstandings keep you from the people who matter most. Hold on to those who love you and forgive those who hurt you." Kamal nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. "I promise, Rafiq. I won't make the same mistake again." Rafiq's health gradually declined, and he passed away peacefully a few months later. His death was a profound loss for Kamal, but it also brought a sense of peace. Kamal realized that he had been given a second chance to mend a broken relationship and to cherish the people in his life. Kamal returned to his restaurant with a renewed perspective. He made it a point to foster a sense of community and connection among his staff and patrons. He organized regular family dinners and community events, using his restaurant as a place to bring people together. Years later, as Kamal looked back on his life, he felt grateful for the unlikely reunion that had given him a chance to heal old wounds. He understood that life's true wealth lay not in success or material possessions, but in the relationships we nurture and the love we share. Kamal's story is a reminder that it's never too late to seek forgiveness and to make amends. The bonds of friendship and family are precious, and through compassion and understanding, we can find our way back to each other.
The unexpected mentor. In the bustling city of Dhaka, where dreams and reality often collided, lived Reena, a woman in her early 30s who worked as a graphic designer. Reena was passionate about her work, but she often felt that something was missing in her life. She longed for a sense of fulfillment that her career alone couldn't provide. One rainy afternoon, as Rena was walking home from work, she noticed an elderly man struggling to carry a heavy bag of groceries. Despite the downpour, she hurried over to help him. "Let me help you with that," she said, offering a warm smile. The man, who introduced himself as Mr. Ahmed, gratefully accepted her help. As they walked together, he shared stories about his life. Mr. Ahmed was a retired teacher who had spent decades educating children in remote villages. His eyes sparkled with a wisdom that only comes with age and experience. "Thank you for helping me, young lady. It's rare to find kindness these days," Mr. Ahmed said as they reached his modest home. Rena felt a connection with Mr. Ahmed and decided to visit him regularly. Over the next few weeks, they developed a friendship that bridged their generational gap. Mr. Ahmed's stories about his time as a teacher fascinated Rena. He spoke of the joy he felt in shaping young minds and the fulfillment he found in making a difference. One day, as they sat in Mr. Ahmed's small garden, he turned to Rena and said, "You have a kind heart, Rena. Have you ever considered mentoring or teaching? It could bring you the sense of purpose you're looking for." Rena was taken aback. "I've never thought about it, Mr. Ahmed. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for teaching." Mr. Ahmed smiled. "You never know until you try. Sometimes, the greatest rewards come from the most unexpected places." Inspired by Mr. Ahmed's words, Rena decided to volunteer at a local community center, offering art classes to children. The experience was challenging but immensely rewarding. She found joy in seeing the children's faces light up as they learned to express themselves through art. Rena's newfound passion for teaching grew, and she began to dedicate more of her time to the community center. She also continued her friendship with Mr. Ahmed, who became her mentor and guide. His wisdom and encouragement helped her navigate the challenges of her dual roles as a designer and a mentor. One day, the community center organized an art exhibition to showcase the children's work. Rena felt a surge of pride as she saw the progress her students had made. The event was a huge success, and many parents approached Rena to express their gratitude. As Rena stood in the center of the bustling exhibition hall, she realized that she had found the fulfillment she had been searching for. The combination of her creative work and her role as a mentor brought a new sense of purpose to her life. Mr. Ahmed attended the exhibition, his eyes filled with pride. "You've done a wonderful job, Rena. I'm proud of you," he said, giving her a warm hug. Rena smiled, her heart full. "Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. I wouldn't have found this path without your guidance." Years later, Rena continued to balance her career as a graphic designer with her passion for teaching. She became a beloved figure at the community center, inspiring countless children to explore their creativity. Her friendship with Mr. Ahmed remained a constant source of support and wisdom. Rena's journey was a testament to the impact of mentorship and the power of pursuing one's passions. She learned that fulfillment often comes from unexpected places, and that the greatest rewards are found in the act of giving and sharing one's talents with others. The hidden melody. In the heart of Dhaka, amidst the clamor of the city's endless activity, lived Noor, a man in his early 40s with a unique gift. Noor was a music teacher at a local school, known for his ability to bring out the best in his students. His life was a symphony of notes and rhythms, but behind the music, Noor carried a silent sorrow. Noor's wife, Sharon, had passed away 5 years earlier, leaving him to raise their daughter Aisha alone. Sharon had been the love of his life, and her loss had left a void that seemed impossible to fill. Noor poured his grief into his music, using it as a way to cope with his pain and to honor Sharon's memory. One day, while cleaning the attic, Noor found an old, dusty box filled with Sharon's belongings. Among her things, he discovered a stack of letters and a small, leather-bound notebook. The letters were addressed to him, written by Sharon during the last months of her life. As he read them, tears streamed down his face. Each letter was filled with love, memories, and encouragement for him to continue living and finding happiness. The notebook, however, was something entirely different. It contained a series of music compositions, unfinished pieces that Sharon had been working on. Noor had known that Sharon loved to compose music, but he had never seen these particular pieces before. They were beautiful, complex, and full of emotion. It was as if Shiren had left him a part of her soul in those notes. That evening, Noor sat with Aisha and showed her the notebook. "Your mother was a brilliant composer, Aisha. She left us these pieces, and I think we should try to finish them together," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Aisha, who had inherited her parents' love for music, nodded eagerly. "I would love that, Baba. Let's do it." Over the next few weeks, Noor and Aisha spent their evenings working on Shiren's compositions. They played the piano, the violin, and sang together, finding solace in the music. The process brought them closer, helping them to heal and to remember the joy that Shiren had brought into their lives. One day, Aisha had an idea. "Baba, what if we perform these pieces at the school concert? We could dedicate the performance to Mama." Noor hesitated. The thought of performing those deeply personal pieces in front of an audience was daunting, but he saw the determination in Aisha's eyes and realized that it was an opportunity to honor Shiren's memory in a meaningful way. The night of the concert arrived, and the school auditorium was filled with students, parents, and teachers. Noor and Aisha took the stage, their hearts pounding with nervous excitement. As they began to play, the music filled the room, a beautiful, haunting melody that spoke of love, loss, and hope. The audience was captivated, and many were moved to tears. When the final note faded, there was a moment of profound silence before the applause erupted. Noor and Aisha bowed, their hearts filled with a mixture of sadness and joy. After the concert, one of Noor's colleagues approached him. "That was a beautiful tribute, Noor. Your music touched everyone in the room. Shiren would be proud." Noor smiled, his eyes glistening with tears. "Thank you. She was the inspiration for everything we played tonight." The performance marked a turning point for Noor and Aisha. They continued to play music together, and Noor found a new sense of purpose in teaching and inspiring his students. He also began to compose his own music, drawing from the emotions and experiences that had shaped his life. Years later, Noor looked back on their journey with a sense of fulfillment. He had found a way to keep Shiren's memory alive through music and had built a stronger bond with Aisha. The hidden melody that Shiren had left behind had not only healed their hearts, but had also enriched their lives in ways they had never imagined. Noor's story is a testament to the power of music to heal and connect us. It reminds us that even in the face of loss, we can find strength and beauty in the memories of those we love and in the melodies they leave behind.
The Lost Manuscript. In the bustling city of Dhaka, where the ancient and the modern intertwine seamlessly, lived Nadia, a 30-year-old librarian with a love for literature and history. Nadia worked at the city's oldest library, a grand building that housed rare books and manuscripts from centuries past. Her days were spent surrounded by the scent of aged paper and the quiet rustle of pages, but she longed for an adventure that would break the monotony of her routine. One day, while organizing the library's archives, Nadia discovered a hidden compartment behind a dusty bookshelf. Inside, she found an old leather-bound manuscript with an intricate design on its cover. Intrigued, she carefully opened the manuscript and realized it was an unfinished novel written by a renowned Bangladeshi author who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances many years ago. Nadia's heart raced with excitement. This discovery could be a literary treasure, and she felt a deep sense of responsibility to uncover the story behind the manuscript. She decided to investigate the author's life and the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. That evening, Nadia shared her discovery with her best friend, Arif, a journalist with a knack for uncovering hidden truths. "Arif, you won't believe what I found today. This manuscript could hold the key to one of Bangladesh's greatest literary mysteries," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Arif's curiosity was piqued. "This sounds like the perfect story for my next article. Let's find out what happened to the author and why the manuscript was hidden." Together, Nadia and Arif began their investigation. They pored over old newspapers, interviewed the author's family and friends, and visited places mentioned in the manuscript. The journey took them to remote villages, ancient ruins, and forgotten corners of Dhaka, each clue bringing them closer to the truth. As they delved deeper into the mystery, they uncovered a web of intrigue, deceit, and betrayal. The author had been involved in a controversial political movement, and his unfinished novel contained sensitive information that had put his life in danger. The manuscript had been hidden to protect him, but he had vanished before he could complete it. One night, while examining the manuscript under a magnifying glass, Nadia noticed faint, almost invisible markings on the margins of the pages. She realized they were coded messages, instructions left by the author for someone to find and finish his work. With Arif's help, Nadia deciphered the messages, which led them to a small, secluded house on the outskirts of Dhaka. There, they found a trove of letters, notes, and drafts that revealed the author's final thoughts and intentions. The house had belonged to the author's closest confidant, who had preserved his work in hopes that one day someone would uncover the truth. Nadia and Arif felt a deep sense of fulfillment as they pieced together the author's unfinished novel. They decided to publish the manuscript, along with the story of their investigation, to honor the author's legacy and bring his work to the world. The publication of the manuscript caused a sensation in the literary community. It was hailed as a masterpiece, and the author's story captivated readers across Bangladesh and beyond. Nadia and Arif received widespread acclaim for their discovery, and they felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Through their journey, Nadia found the adventure she had been longing for, and Arif uncovered a story that would define his career. Their partnership grew stronger, and they continued to work together on other literary projects, always seeking the hidden stories waiting to be discovered. Nadia's story is a testament to the power of literature to connect us to the past and the importance of preserving our cultural heritage. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest adventures are found in the most unexpected places, and that the pursuit of knowledge and truth can lead to extraordinary discoveries.
The guardian of secrets. In the vibrant and ever-evolving city of Dhaka lived a woman named Meher, a 38-year-old historian with an insatiable curiosity for uncovering the hidden stories of her homeland. Meher worked at a prestigious university, where she spent her days researching and lecturing about the rich history and culture of Bangladesh. Despite her professional success, she felt a yearning for a deeper connection to the past. One evening, as Meher was preparing for a lecture, she received an unexpected visit from her grandmother, Dadi. Dadi, a wise and spirited woman in her late 70s, handed Meher a small, ornate key. "This key has been passed down through our family for generations," Dadi said, her eyes twinkling with mystery. "It unlocks a hidden room in our ancestral home. I think it's time you discovered its secrets." Intrigued by her grandmother's words, Meher decided to visit their ancestral home, a centuries-old mansion in a remote village. The next weekend, she set off on the journey, eager to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the old house. Upon arriving at the mansion, Meher was struck by its grandeur and the sense of history that permeated every corner. She made her way to the attic, where she found a hidden door concealed behind a tapestry. With trembling hands, she used the key to unlock the door, revealing a small, dusty room filled with old chests, scrolls, and artifacts. As Meher carefully examined the contents of the room, she discovered a series of journals and letters written by her ancestors. The documents detailed the lives of her forebears, their struggles, triumphs, and the secrets they had guarded. Among the papers, she found a particularly intriguing letter from her great-great-grandmother Aisha, who had been a renowned activist during the British colonial period. The letter contained a cryptic message about a hidden treasure that had been entrusted to the family. It spoke of a precious artifact that had been smuggled out of the country to protect it from the colonial powers. Meher's curiosity was piqued, and she felt a profound sense of duty to uncover the artifact and preserve her family's legacy. Determined to solve the mystery, Meher enlisted the help of her colleague and friend, Tariq, an archaeologist with a passion for uncovering historical treasures. Together, they followed the clues left by Aisha, which led them on a journey across Bangladesh, from ancient ruins to hidden caves and bustling markets. Their quest was not without its challenges. They encountered obstacles and dangers, from treacherous terrain to cryptic puzzles that tested their resolve. But with each step, Meher felt a deeper connection to her ancestors and a growing appreciation for their sacrifices and courage. One day, after months of relentless searching, Meher and Tariq found themselves in a remote temple in the Chittagong hill tracts. The temple, nestled deep within the forest, was adorned with intricate carvings and symbols that matched the clues in Aisha's letter. As they explored the temple, they discovered a hidden chamber that contained a beautifully crafted chest. With bated breath, Meher opened the chest to reveal a stunning, jewel-encrusted artifact, a ceremonial dagger that had been used in ancient rituals. The sight of the dagger filled Meher with awe and reverence. She knew that she had found the treasure her ancestors had so carefully hidden and protected. Returning to Dhaka with the artifact, Meher felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She presented the dagger to the university, where it was displayed as a symbol of the resilience and strength of her people. The discovery brought widespread acclaim and recognition, and Meher's research was celebrated for its contribution to preserving Bangladesh's cultural heritage. Through her journey, Meher found not only the hidden treasure, but also a deeper understanding of her roots and the legacy of her family. She realized that the true treasure was the connection to her ancestors and the stories they had passed down through generations. Meher's story is a testament to the power of heritage and the importance of preserving our history. It reminds us that the past holds valuable lessons and that the pursuit of knowledge can lead to extraordinary discoveries and a deeper sense of identity.
The Whispering Trees. In the bustling city of Dhaka, where urban life thrived amid the concrete jungle, lived Tariq, a 40-year-old environmental scientist with a passion for nature. Tariq's work involved studying the impact of urbanization on the environment, and he often found himself lamenting the loss of green spaces in the ever-expanding city. Despite his efforts to promote sustainability, he felt a growing sense of frustration and helplessness. One day, while visiting a remote village on the outskirts of Dhaka for a research project, Tariq came across an ancient grove of trees that seemed untouched by time. The villagers spoke of the grove with reverence, claiming that the trees were sacred and possessed a unique ability to communicate with those who listened closely. Intrigued by their tales, Tariq decided to explore the grove and see for himself. As he walked among the towering trees, Tariq felt a sense of tranquility he hadn't experienced in years. The air was filled with the soothing rustle of leaves, and the sunlight filtered through the branches, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. He sat down on a moss-covered rock and closed his eyes, allowing the peace of the grove to wash over him. To his astonishment, Tariq began to hear faint whispers, as if the trees were speaking to him. The whispers were a mix of ancient languages and soft, melodic sounds that seemed to convey a deep wisdom. He couldn't understand the words, but he felt a profound connection to the trees and a sense of guidance. Over the next few weeks, Tariq returned to the grove whenever he could, spending hours in quiet contemplation. The whispers grew clearer, and he began to perceive patterns and rhythms in the sounds. It was as if the trees were sharing their stories and knowledge with him, revealing secrets about the natural world and the delicate balance of ecosystems. Inspired by his experiences in the grove, Tariq decided to take action. He organized a community initiative to protect the remaining green spaces in Dhaka and promote urban reforestation. With the support of local activists, environmental organizations, and the villagers who revered the grove, Tariq launched a campaign to plant trees and raise awareness about the importance of preserving nature in the city. The campaign garnered widespread attention and support, and soon, green spaces began to flourish in Dhaka once more. Parks, gardens, and tree-lined streets became a common sight, providing a refuge for both people and wildlife. The initiative also fostered a sense of community, bringing together people from all walks of life to work towards a common goal. Tariq's efforts did not go unnoticed. He received numerous awards and accolades for his work, but more importantly, he felt a renewed sense of purpose and fulfillment. The whispers of the trees had guided him towards a path of positive change, and he realized that even small actions could have a significant impact. One day, as he was visiting the grove with his daughter, Layla, she asked, "Baba, do you really think the trees can talk?" Tariq smiled, his eyes filled with wonder. In their own way, yes. They speak to those who are willing to listen and understand. We must respect and protect them, for they hold the key to our future. Layla nodded, her eyes wide with fascination. "Can I hear them too?" Tariq took her hand and led her to a spot under the oldest tree in the grove. Close your eyes, Layla, and listen with your heart. The trees have many stories to share, and if you listen closely, you might just hear them. Years later, as the city of Dhaka continued to thrive amidst its green renaissance, Tariq's legacy lived on. The whispering trees of the ancient grove became a symbol of hope and resilience, reminding everyone of the importance of nature in an urban world. Tariq's story is a testament to the power of listening to the whispers of the earth and the difference one person can make in the fight to protect our planet.
Subscribe for more videos. Your support helps me create more content. Thanks for watching.